So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Whiteman, and it's my great privilege and joy to partner with Dinah Hunter and Gary Knapp and join each and every one of you every Saturday morning or whenever you get an opportunity to review these recordings. Today, we're very privileged to have an extended panel of some of our partners in the field. We're all from different teams, but we all have the same purpose and mission. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview of what the topic is today. The vast majority of people sharing Manotick with others wear their heart on their sleeve. They have their own experience of transformation. They want those they love, care about, or simply come into contact with have the opportunity to make a choice. We have the best nutrition technology, great leadership, and awesome opportunities, and Manotick should no longer be the best kept secret. Manotick is just so worth it. We all need to learn to stand tall and be loud and be proud. In this call, we're going to be talking about real people sharing their experience of their journey and sharing Manotick's three streams of business: wellness, business, and purpose. One of the key essential activities for success is committing to attending as many events and incentives as humanly possible. So we're very fortunate to have quite a few, recent incentive, a recent event, and an upcoming incentive to inspire you to fully go all in race, basically. And today we were very lucky to have Dinah Hunter take over as guest interviewer, and our colleagues, I'm going to sit back and listen and learn. So thank you so very much.
Thank you, Sharon, and welcome everybody, and welcome to those who join later on the recording. Not everyone can make it directly to our webinar on a Saturday morning, so welcome to those of you who join whenever your best timing for that is. And welcome to our panel. Thanks for joining us. We've got a couple of people here who are just hot off the presses of a recent trip that was part of an incentive and part of a regional launch. So we do thank you for all of you for putting your hand up and to be here to share with our community this morning. And as Sharon mentioned, we've just had a recent event, which is the launch of Thailand in the Manotick business community. And that also had an incentive attached to it. And we've got an incentive just launched over the last month, which is to our international business event, Manifest. And Manifest, I think I've been to about 6 manifests, 6 or 7. I know Karen's been to many of them. And I think everyone here has also been at least to one of the manifests. So we'd like to feature Manifest today, particularly as this incentive kicks off. So what lies ahead for you as you work towards being there, which is so worth every step of the journey to get there. So, and then we'll also tie in what's happening on the ground in Thailand, and we'll see where we go from there. So, Sandy, I know that you have some things to attend to this morning, so we'll make you first cab off the rank. Welcome.
Thank you, Diane.
So, Sandy, you've been to Manifest, haven't you?
I have. I've been about at least 4 times.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
First time was back in 2010. I always remember seeing Karen with her jackets on with Manifest and a couple of other people, and I used to think, oh, wow, I could never get there, and it was sort of something that seemed to be out of reach. And lo and behold, I didn't fully qualify, but I qualified enough for my airfare. And the first time I went, I really wasn't well, and everyone thought I was weird for going, but I'd made up my mind I wanted to go, and I was going no matter what. But I had great support when I was there, and it was well worth it. It's just the energy you get from going to Manifest is unbelievable. It's great when we have our conventions. You get a lot of energy there, but the Manifest ones, because you've got people from all over the world and you're mixing with all different levels, and it's just amazing.
Yeah. And so you said that you achieved some of the incentives. So through achieving the incentive, some of the costs were covered by Manotick, and then you funded some of the trip.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Which all helps if you can get any part
100%,
of it.
100%.
Yeah.
And so how did you go about winning some of the trip?
I guess just enrolling people, talking to people, getting orders, and yeah, when you're motivated to go somewhere, you sort of, I guess, you're more inclined to talk to people and get those orders happening and
When you have a
achieving another
focus.
level, and
Yeah. Yeah. Well done.
Mm.
And so you said that you've attended 4 times.
Yeah.
Can you share a little bit about, what have been the benefits of attending Manifest in terms of your business development and even personal development, if there's been any of that for you?
It's been quite a while since I've been to one because it's, we haven't had any for a while, but I just know that you come back with so much more energy, and you're on you're way up here, and you just want to get out and get people involved, and I guess the energy, I think, is what the most important thing is, that you're feeling, because you've been mixing with people that are on your same wavelength and see what others have done, and you come back on a high.
Yeah. And so you've also just did you achieve some of the Thailand incentive?
I achieved the whole incentive, so that was
Oh,
awesome. Yes,
congratulations.
thank
And
you.
so more business activity happening to achieve that incentive?
Yeah, I was able to get more people on the products, which was great,
Mhm.
and
Yep.
get them still ordering. And yeah, so I was Bangkok. Just wanted to go. I just thought Thailand, and I do actually have a friend back here that's Thai, so I've been working on her and a partner.
Great.
So that sort of was also an incentive, I guess, because I knew I have had the Thai food so much here, and I know what the Thai people are like. So I just wanted to go, and I just did what I had to do to get there. So,
Yeah. Okay.
and once there, it was amazing.
Can you share a couple of your highlights?
Well, I guess for me, the biggest highlight was, well, no, I can't say it was the biggest, because just being with everybody was so great. But to have breakfast with Landon Frederick, Steve Nugent, and Ray Robbins was just amazing. I sat opposite Ray Robbins, Karen made sure and it was the energy you get from those three was, yeah, they both have three of them both have so much passion for the company, the products, the vision. It's just, you can't help but feel enthused and want to get out there and, sign up everybody that you talk to, which is not possible, but, you try.
Yeah. Well, I'm hearing a few benefits there. One is, in achieving the incentive, you've helped a bunch of people with their health and well-being through getting out there and sharing the product more. You've achieved your vision of attending Manifest, and most recently Thailand.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity to sit with, there's so many opportunities on those incentives, but the one I'm hearing from you was highlight was rubbing shoulders, belly to belly, if you like, with eyeball to eyeball with the corporate leaders.
That's right. We felt so special. It was just, thanks to Sinead for organising it all. It was, she did an amazing job. She's just,
and
glad to have her back.
And my experience of that is that it brings in even more confidence of what we're sharing with people.
Well, that's right. You know, when you're hearing this, and they've all had health stories to share as well. They're not they didn't just come into the company for the money. They're there for their health as well. So you know that what you're doing is right. You know that we've got a product that's unlike any other on the market. So
Okay, and so what are your next steps going forward with all this inspiration under your belt, Sandy?
Oh, just trying to talk to as many people as I can, get out there. Karen and I learned a little bit about that in Thailand. We tried to go out one day to speak to people, but no one spoke English. So, but we did realise that, it's get over yourself, just talk to people, You don't have to be forceful or rude, but just make connections and talk, and, it'll happen.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you, Sandy.
That's all right.
Looking forward to witnessing your greater business success going forward.
Thank you very much, Diana. It's been a pleasure to be on here. And I just want to thank everybody again for the trip to Thailand. It was awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so Karen, I know has been to just about every manifest, I'm guessing. And one of the things, pardon?
It's all right. Sorry.
Oh yeah. One of the things we used to say many years ago about manifest, it brings Manitech from your head to your heart. And I know Karen fully carries the mission and the message of Manitech forward in her heart. So how many times have you been to Manifest, Karen? And
14.
14. I think you might win the prize on that in our
good.
business community. Well, I'm sure you've got some takeaways that you'd like to share with our community from making that trip, achieving that incentive or choosing to go.
Well, yes, just incredible. 2004 was my first one, and I still wear the jacket we got all the time. I still have it. Things made in America, clothes made in America last very well, actually. So 2004, I went as a regional director. I'd only been in Manitech for, I think, 4 months. And back then, a regional director was the same as our director level now. That was the first level then. And I only earned the airfare, a bit like Sandy. I weren't earned enough for that. And someone was kind enough to share their accommodation with me because they'd earned double accommodation. So that was good. And I paid my registration. And it was the most incredible trip. And I guess that set the pattern for my life. It just blew me away to hear back in those days, we heard a lot of testimonials. So that was very inspiring. The first few years, there was always a whole night of testimonials. So that was great. And I came home, and within 2 months, I was national director, which back then was from 1,500 to 6,000. So that was how much inspiration I got, and I went full time. No, I didn't. That was not for 18 months. So, Manifest was, I don't know, it's the social life too. It's just the meeting everybody. And as Sandy said, being on the same page as other people who've had more success than you. That's the biggest thing, just hearing other people's struggles, not just health things, but business struggles, because there are business struggles. There's times when things don't go as well. Like we've just come back from Thailand, and we had some orders have gone into exception and got run and blah, blah, blah because of the early cutoff, and they're challenges sometimes. And you just have to work out a way to overcome them and deal with them. So it was good to hear that, to hear the good and the bad, and fortify ourselves to come home and be stronger and better and overcome things. And I think that's to be successful in any business, you've got to be able to overcome challenges, So you get that from mixing with all those people,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry if I'm going on too long about
No,
that.
it's perfect. And I agree. The stories that you hear, both health and business, powerfully set confidence or posture. One of the things I felt from being on the other side of Manifest is an increased posture, and I think that's from embodied confidence. Would you say that's been the truth for you?
Absolutely. And even though we don't have testimonial nights there anymore, haven't done for many years, but you're still in queues and talking to people and hearing incredible stories. I could still tell you probably 10 testimonials I learned at Manifest, mind-blowing type stories. So they never leave you. And you know what? I still use a lot of those when I talk to people privately on the phone.
Yes. Indeed.
Yeah, just tell stories.
So transitioning across to Thailand, so what have been a couple of your highlights from the Thailand trip, and in terms of how you believe it supported your business growth in getting there and your vision of growth going forward?
Okay. Well, I just want to mention that Sandy didn't mention that she and I both earned the Yarra Valley incentive as well. So that was incredible. The time we spent with the group in the Yarra Valley and with Sinead and Andrew and Poppy was incredible. It was only 2 days and it was a long way to the Yarra Valley, was for me anyway. And I guess that really set us up. So, you know, it inspired Sandy, I know, and it inspired me. So this whole incentive thing is so inspiring. You know, when you feel what it's like just to be with others and share ideas and talk about your goals and talk about your intentions. So that set us up, I believe, to earn the Thailand incentive. It did for me anyway, and I'm sure Sandy would agree. So Thailand, well, Thailand was a really great learning experience. You know, as Sandy said, we went with high hopes of getting out there, cold marketing, which I've certainly never done, and Sandy hadn't either. So we bravely went out and we tried so hard, but we were not successful because we really couldn't find anybody who spoke English. And that morning at breakfast, we'd spoken to Ray Robbins, and he gave us tips. He said, make sure you find people who speak English. That was a direct Ray Robbins tip because it's just too hard otherwise. Well, we tried, but we weren't successful that day. The next morning, though, we picked our socks up, and the next morning we had breakfast, as Sandy said, with Ray and Steve and Landon Fredericks. And as Sandy said, that was just quite incredible. We had a private room just with the Australians. There were only 13 of us, and you know, just chatting around. We all had to introduce ourselves, and Landon shared his vision, which is to have for Manatech, which is to be far more supportive than they already are for us by making multi-glycans as common as multivitamins and multiminerals. That's basically his vision. And I asked him, how are you going to deal with the medical industrial complex on that? And he said, we're taking the offensive. So I'm sure that's not private information. I'm allowed to share that. So that was really exciting for us all. We said, after all these years, that we're not common knowledge is not good. We should be. And that's what Manatech are working on, to support us and make it easier for us. And one of the ways they're doing that is Dr. Nugent did a whole session with doctors and pharmacists in Thailand on the Sunday, because that's where we have to get to. You know, the medical people have to start to realise what we've got.
Yeah.
So that was exciting. Steve talked about, I asked him at breakfast about how to survive on a toxic planet. And he brought up the fact that he's writing a new book because everything has changed. Manatech's got better, the world's got worse. And as he quoted in How to Survive on a Toxic Planet, which I know you guys have read, he said there were 75,000 toxic chemicals on planet Earth in 2004 when he wrote that book, compared to before 1930, there were none. There were none. And now, which we didn't know till the afternoon, I should say, at the grand opening, he actually had that in his slides. The figure now stands at 350,000 toxic chemicals on planet Earth, which will be in his new book. So that was really revealing. And in his presentation at the grand opening in the afternoon was mind-blowing. I've never, and look, I have probably heard Steve talk, I don't know, hundreds of times, really. So many times. He's been to Australia, we've been to Manifest, you know, he's come so many times. On your calls, it'd be thousands probably, really. I've never seen him so passionate, ever. And I know all the guys would agree. We've never seen him so passionate. Yeah, multi-glycans, there's Bella adding to that. Yeah. He really focused on ambitose, on the glycans. He encouraged us to use the word glycans rather than glyconutrients. And I think that's an excellent idea, because people can Google glycans and there's masses of stuff. I did it myself yesterday just to see, not Manatech stuff, you know, I mean, it's out there, it's knowledge, but people aren't out there trying to make drugs out of them, whereas we need to have them in a food form to improve our bodies. And he also really emphasised AO. He spent a lot of time on our antioxidant and oxidative stress because of the way the world is. Chronic stress, you know, the things that are being added to our food, they're in the air, they're in our furniture, they're in our cars, they're in everything. So people really need our products more than ever. and more amounts if possible to deal with a lot of the things that are going on. So it was, you can never hear that information too much. It's so inspiring, you know, you just want to come and help people and tell people. But the other really great thing at the grand opening was the recognition. You know, we haven't been to Manifest for so long, and they've been open for 3 months. They only have Luminovation and Osoline. And there was about, I don't know how many new executive directors, new silver executive directors, new gold executive directors, 2 new presidential directors, and even 1 bronze presidential director in
Fantastic.
3 months.
Yeah.
You know, with just Luminovation. And it's you know, their energy, all that were there really were Korea. There was a lot of Koreans, the Korean general manager who's sort of been responsible for getting Thailand going, and the Thai manager. We met all these people, spent time with them, had conversations with them, you know. It was so exciting. I've not been at a grand opening of any country, so it was different, you know. It was just a really great atmosphere, and we were hugging and congratulating Thai people, and none of us could understand each other, but we all got it, you know. And there was this one crazy lady who's an executive director. We kept running into her, and we took photos with her, and we both babble on, and neither of us can understand, but, you know, it didn't matter. But it was just great energy, and all that recognition was amazing. And Landon's speech was great. Ray Robbins spoke. He was, you know, he's in his 80s, and he's just so inspiring. And his pet subject, of course, is earning incentives, and that builds your business, because you have to build your business to go, and that increases your income. So it's a double win. You get a part or fully paid holiday, excitement and fun, and your business grows at the same time, and so does your income. But the best, I think I have to say this, well, yes, I can't really say it was better than Dr. Nugent and all we learned, but just the time spent with the rest of our gang in Thailand was another level. We just had the most fun. We laughed so much, and not all fueled by alcohol, I hasten to add. You know, we were just had such a good time together, and bonded all in different groups. You know, we just bonded so much, shared ideas and laughed. And, you know, this is such a great family. You know, we're on such a big mission, that, you know, to have this big secret that the world doesn't know about, and the strategies needed, and the talents and the skills to get the message across, you know. And you pick that up being with other people. I think that's the best part of going on incentives, is the sharing with others, and the picking up of ideas, and the encouraging. We all encourage each other and believe in each other. I'm talking too much, I think.
No, it's perfect. I'm just thinking, thank you for that wonderful newsy update on Thailand. I think everyone's I've been glued to everything. It's been wonderful. And it also has reminded me of the Manifest experience too. I mean, you raised so many valuable points there, you know.
Yeah.
And I think everyone here will agree that it is the connection with the community that's primary.
Yep.
You talked about Dr. Nugent. He truly is a wellness warrior. And, you know, I'm not surprised he's featuring AO if the level of pollutions is as you described. And also that the posture and the confidence that gives you when you've actually been right there hearing him share with such verve, you know, and vigor that he does. And then also Landon's vision, like to be in the room, to hear the vision. Again, it helps us embody that and carry it forward into our business, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah, it just, thank you so much, Karen, for taking the time to give us a view of what's happening there. And
my pleasure.
I'm sure it's going to drive your business, and also to acknowledge you and Sandy's courage for getting out there and having a go. You know, like in the early days, I would sit in my garage making phone calls to the US on leads, and most people wouldn't answer. I'd get rejected, but people acknowledge me now for my conversation skill. Well, how do you think that happened?
Exactly.
It's because you just get out there, do the hard yards, have conversations, make mistakes, hone it, right?
Yeah. Well,
And
I do have a great end result if you want to hear it.
yeah,
or
love
not.
to hear it.
Well, in preparation, there's no Thai restaurants out here where I live, but there is a Thai massage place in Kingaroy. So I had 4 or 5 massages before I went to Thailand. And again, they didn't speak any English. So I hadn't got very far. And then Sinead, incredible Sinead and Andrew and Poppy, they printed all these pictures of the Luminovation products in the Thai language and the grand opening in the Thai language. So we had things to hand out. But I didn't get them before I went for my last Thai massage before I went. But anyway, I went on Thursday for another one. And I told them I was going to Thailand. You know, there's some English, but very little. And they were so excited. And when I came back, was, the lady who does me, she never talks really because but she wouldn't stop. She kept saying, how was Thailand? How was the food? Was it hot? Yes, very hot. That was the worst part. Very hot, you know, and all these questions. She kept asking me all these questions. And then she told me that she was a Thai dance teacher in Thailand and she was doing, you know, so the whole communication between us just changed.
Mm.
So I went and I didn't take anything with me because I was really wiped out. And I thought, this is not a good day to do that. So I'll do that next week. But so I went out to the counter and the other lady, there's three Thai ladies, and the other one spoke much better English. How was your holiday? She said. And I said, well, it was not just a holiday, it was a business trip, you know. And I said, you know, our company opened in Thailand. Oh, well, their eyes lit up, didn't it? and then I told another lady said, what, just Bangkok? I said, no, all over Thailand. And they're from the country. So, oh, what? And I told them it was Korean skincare, and their eyes lit up again because the Thai people, you know, love anything Korean. So it turned to be that, oh, have you got a card? You know, I said, no, I bring some material. So I've got all this fabulous stuff that Sinead gave us that I can take in Thai. And this is what I learnt, was even though I wasn't successful there, to come home and find Thai people or people who have Thai family, work on that, get them started. So that's my massive target at the moment, to get these people going.
That's a great story, Karen, a really good example. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for your time this morning.
Oh, it's a pleasure, always.
And so Pauline, Ben, thank you for sitting patiently there as we move around the circle to you. Pauline.
Yes, Diana.
Thanks for being here. So you've been, I'm sure you've been inspired what you've heard so far, but you've also been to Manifest, haven't you?
I've been to 3.
Okay, fantastic.
Two in Las Vegas and 1 in Dallas.
Uh-huh.
And I must admit that the one in Dallas was the most impressive.
Okay.
And I think because in Las Vegas, I think we were at Caesar's Palace. Well, you come out of the Manatech environment and into all of that glitz and glamour and whatever people like to call it, and you lose the connection. But in Dallas, we were there. We actually went to the Manatech business, the company. We had a tour through there. We actually met and spoke to Tate.
Tate Switzer.
Tate Switzer, the guy we had on last week.
Yeah.
And that was just mind-blowing for me. And also on that trip, we packed the food. We packed the meals for M5M. And that was a great experience because you're in a line. They had all these tables and people at the table. So if you were doing rice, you did all the rice. If someone did whatever, you know, and we packed these meals. And that was a lovely connection with people because they're all different from all around the world. And we were doing something for M5M. So to me, that was giving back something. And I liked the connection that wherever we went on that trip as well, you talk about having breakfast with Landon. We had We didn't have breakfast, but they had two speakers, the two guys that run the Costa Rican farm.
Where the aloe vera is
Yes.
produced. Mhm.
They were there and they gave their talk the night before. The next morning at breakfast, we saw them and we went and spoke to them. And that was really fantastic. You know, fantastic to be able to go and talk to people that you hear what's going on at the farm and all that, but when you hear them tell their story and what they're doing with the people they've got working there and the whole process, it just puts, that's the wrong thing to say, it puts more belief into
does.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I tell that story whenever I speak to people because it just touched me so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yes, I preferred Dallas, I think, to Las Vegas.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, you've spoken there about going to the laboratories.
Yeah.
You have that option, don't you, when you go over to
do,
Manifest? And
do.
that's Manitech provide that as a complimentary thing. They provide option and they provide coach transport free of
That's
charge to
really
do
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I know the times I've been, I'm pretty wiped by the time I get there. But I know each time Sharon Whiteman's gone, come on, we're going to the labs. And we go off there. And I feel that visiting the laboratories is another, you just see the in person.
Yes. Yeah.
You see you hear about it on the conference calls, but in person, you see the level of quality
Yes.
and commitment and integrity that's going into the production of our products.
That's right.
Again, you can carry that back with you in the
Mm.
way you speak with other people.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you feel like going to Manifest has supported you in coming home in the growth of your business? Like, how's that worked for you?
Yeah. It has. I've been very slack, I have to admit. But I have such a belief in these products that I'll never ever stop taking them. Because I know what it does for me, I know what it's done for Bill. And people have seen that. And I have tried to talk to my family about it, and we've all done this, and we all have the same drama. My daughter-in-law, and I've been in Manitech since about 2008, I think. And my daughter-in-law is a nutritionist dietitian, and she started off doing medical science research. So she's got that background. And it was, no, we don't do that. She came to me earlier this year and said, can you come and talk to me about Manitech? And I said, of course I can. But I did it in such a way that I think my problem has always been I overload. You know, I spill everything out and blow everybody away. I didn't do that with her. Thanks to Patsy, who gave me some sheets I gave them to her, I sat down with her and I said, before we do anything, I'd like you to fill these out for me. So she did. And it was, you know, just to say how you are and what level you think you are in a healthy way. And at the end of it, she could see that her health was really not that good. And then I said to her, well, and I know she's a single mum with 2 girls still at home. I know I don't know what her finances are, but I know she's not well off. So I said, right, what can you afford? What's your budget? And she told me, so I said, well, I suggest you take Ambritose and, oh God, it's just gone. What's our multivitamin?
Oh, Catalyst.
Catalyst?
Yeah.
And omega-3. I tried Plus, but she said, I can't swallow tablets that big. We've got around that now. She chews them. And I think, oh, no. But anyway, that's further down the track. But she tried those 3 products. And I said, keep a record of how you're doing. Write down now how you're feeling. And then next month, tell me how you're going. And we've gone on like that. And then she said to me, I'd like to try AO. She's a smart girl. She's gone online, she's checked things out, and she's doing them at her pace. And this has been a good learning thing for me, to not just blurt it all out and blow everyone away.
It's a great point, Pauline.
Yeah. And she came to me and said, I'd like to try AO. And I said, that's a good idea. She's done AO and she's added plus to it. And she's feeling so much better. So it's little steps, but I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with her progress and the fact that she came to me after being blurted it all out over the years. And
it's a really good example. I've got a example of my own family about, and was one of the things I wanted to feature on this call is, do you have a story of someone you've had to talk to over a period of time before they came on board? And that's a really good story. And your story is a good example of that, but also it's a good example of learning how to approach people in the most, effective way in which that they can lean in more to what we have to offer. And sometimes also it's just about timing.
It is
their timing when they have the need, they get present with the need.
I also have learned through this process. I mean, I'm a slow learner, but it's take it back. Just don't give them everything, but take it back.
Yeah.
And I've given them everything. And I've had lots of people try lots of things, and they'll only try it for 2 or 3 months, and then they stop, because then in my mind they're not doing the right thing anyway. So I took this back from my daughter-in-law, sort of gave it and took it back, and now I understand that. I think Patsy's probably drummed that into me for years, and it's finally sunk in.
Well, it's another good example, Pauline, of one, you've built the confidence. I can tell your confidence and your heart with Manatech, but then it's about learning the skills on how to share it effectively with people. So there's a balance of that.
Yes.
Your commitment going to Manifest, going to other incentives, other events will help build the confidence, and then it's learning how to also share effectively and taking it back, demonstrating the value of what you have in that, not trying to push it onto people is a great example. Thank you, Pauline. There's been a lot of value. And the other thing that you brought up earlier also was about the value of the community. You talked about M5M, getting on the ground with the M5M experience, the arm of Manatech, or the aspect of Manatech is about giving back on a global scale to children, at-risk children, and being on the ground with that experience. But also when you're at this event of Manifest, you're with an international community in doing that process together, and you get a sense of our global connection. Was another good point to bring up. So thank you, Pauline.
And you're talking about the finance. I financed myself every time I've gone.
Okay.
So it wouldn't matter.
And was that worth it to you? Do you believe that was worth it to you?
Exceptionally.
Yeah.
It was worth every penny of it.
Okay.
Because you can't learn, and you can't, it's the environment. You can't get that environment anywhere else. And we have Manatech here, we have Manifest here, and it's a great environment, but we've only got the people we've got here. You go over there, I have met ladies from America. Well, we meet them, all the people, but I am still sort of in touch with ladies that I've met in the queue when we've done the shopping bit, when you've got a chance to go and buy the Manatech products. We stood in queues and we chat to people, and I'm still in touch with those people. Well, I would never have met them before. Their birthdays pop up and I wish them happy birthday and things like that. It's a connection I would never have had. So,
good point, Pauline.
So no, it's well worth, for me, it was well worth every cent I've paid. So
lovely. Thank you, Pauline.
But I do intend to work for an incentive and get something paid for.
Oh, well, we've got one right now.
I
maybe
know.
work with, if you haven't already, have a meeting with Patsy and she'll step you through
Yes,
how to best approach that within your own business scenario.
yes, I am.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you very much, Diane. Thanks.
And Bev, thank you. Can't hear you, Bev. You'll have to unmute. I might have to invite you to unmute. Nope, button's not working. Do you know how to unmute yourself? If you scan down to the bottom of your screen, yeah, there we are.
Right, well, thank you, everybody else. It's been such a wonderful, very informative morning. I think I'll go now.
Oh, not that easy, not that easy, Bev. You've been a dedicated member of our Manatech community for how many years?
Same as Karen, I started in 2003.
Okay, and so you're guaranteed to have a lot of value to add to this call.
Well,
and that's why you're here. So how many times have you been to Manifest?
I've been 7. The first one was the same as Karen, 2004. I actually had to go to the cupboard and look at all my jackets to see the dates on the back.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of dates missing, but my first one, 2004, is the one I keep in my car and use all the time.
Yeah.
And then we had different varieties, and we actually had a vest once that was in 2009. There was the black vest.
Yep.
So that was really interesting to hear people talk on that. I sort of started off thinking I knew what I was going to be saying, but as everybody else included those things, I've just got some notes down on my paper. I kept writing. I didn't cross out the ones I had, but
well, I think we're interested in what you personally have. You know, what are your highlights from Manifest in a way that you've been able to bring back and support your business growth, but also personally? I think there's personal benefits as well as business benefits from having the Manifest experience.
Well, let's face it, the very first one, my husband and I went on 2004. It was for not totally a Manatech excuse or reason for going over there, but my sister lives in America too. So I thought, if we make an effort and get over there, I can go over after Manifest and tell her all about it and etc., because she was a nurse, and see how she accepts it, how she goes, etc., which we did. And she registered then. And in fact, in 2007, she met me back there at a Manifest, and we went to Manifest together, which was just brilliant. So, and that was her introduction to Manatech at that stage. So even though it started off just going with half an excuse to see my sister, it worked out really well. And some of the things in those early days that I remember, and you all would too, but in the very early ones, we had breakout sessions, and you could go and you could choose different people to listen to. And they were fantastic. You know, you're very divided because you wanted to hear the lot, but sometimes you couldn't, or you went to hear a certain speaker. And I know both of us, my sister and I, were both really impressed with one year there were, well, quite a few years, there were doctors encouraging other doctors. They were speaking there. I can just name quite a few of the doctors who were the speakers, but quite a few of the American doctors were there for the first time, learning and listening about Manatech, the Manatech message. And that was really very impressive. They sort of did encourage each other, which would be wonderful if something like that happened out here. It'd be really good. But that was one of the things I remember. And I suppose listening to people both in product and business, it was the fact of perseverance and listening to other people's stories, like all the others said. being in line, you mightn't hear it from the stage, but you'd hear it from people around you from every country who was there, that it wasn't always plain sailing. And but it was the fact of seeing challenges not as negatives, but as basically what I put here was more a positive or a reason for getting going again, because it wasn't a matter of you've fallen down, so that's the end of it, basically, if you know what I mean. I remember hearing from the stage one of the doctors from Africa who was a medical support person in one of the orphanages that M5M gave their products to, and her the impression she made on me was that when she was there before M5M, there'd be children dying from malnutrition. They'd come into the orphanage, they'd die. She made horrific, like so many a month. And then she said at the end of the first year on M5M products, there were no deaths amongst the children. And that really hit home to me, the value of M5M. And I loved Pauline's experience, which I had as well, with helping to fill the M5M bags. We were on one of the tables too, my sister and I, and just the environment there and learning about it was fantastic anyway. And I suppose it helps you not only in your belief, but commitment that I will never go off these products, no matter what happens with my business, that I will never go off. And so that, just trying to think of anything else.
And did you win the incentives to go, Bev, or did you invest from your own funds?
No, I did win them. Otherwise, we couldn't have gone.
Yeah,
but,
that's the benefit, isn't it? There's an incentive there to make it even opportunity to go with a bit of work. And the sideline benefit, of course, is that you're building your business.
Yes.
And helping loads of people, whether it be for their nutritional well-being or for their lifestyle and financial well-being along the way. It's a win-win all the way, isn't it?
Yes, it really was.
Did you feel that going to Manifest, it strengthened your business on your return?
Yes, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I came home with just more confidence. I think somebody else said that too, and more belief to get out there and talking about that experience was wonderful.
Yeah.
But I like what Pauline said too, that sometimes you come home so excited you just vomit everything out all the time instead of just trying to show that bit more restraint. But yes, it certainly helped my business, that's for sure.
Yeah, okay, great. And the other thing that you brought up there was, we hear the authentic stories of business leaders and not only the success part of the story, but the trials and tribulations, the reality of getting there, right? Which is really helpful. And Karen raised that as well. But also the opportunity to be trained by successful leaders. And, we often say on this call, success leaves clues. Well, what are those clues? And you get to hear them firsthand. And again, rub shoulders with people that have, been through the ups and downs, but, come through into success.
Yes.
And that's a great thing to be sharing. And to those that are looking to going to Manifest, those opportunities are there. I'm not sure if they're doing breakout sessions, but if they're not, there'll be that opportunity from the stage.
Well, yes.
And just to finish off,
the lab I was very impressed with too.
Yeah.
Just loved going out there and seeing the workers, seeing in, each of the research areas was a big thing for me.
Yeah. I'd say when you go, that's a must do, no matter how tired you are.
Yes, definitely. And they had coaches going out, didn't they?
Yep.
And Fort Worth, I'm glad it's back there this year. That's fantastic place. Grapevine, isn't it called?
Sorry?
called Grapevine, I think. In
Oh,
that
the
area.
Grapevine Hotel. Yes.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes.
So Bev,
Sorry.
to finish off, just, as a side story that we also did with Pauline, can you share a story of someone that you've talked to multiple times? That people don't always say yes immediately, do they? Despite our confidence, posture, and our skill in sharing the story, do they always say yes straight away?
Could I give you one story? Two stories. One's mine, and one's another friend who's doing so well now. But I said no to my upline, I think 3 times, or was it 4? No, I said no to other people, not her. From contacts who'd contacted me and said, have a look at this. And I'd said, no, no, thank you, etc. All the things we say. Half the time, because I come from a really medical family and I was just scared to put my foot outside the medical areas, I suppose. But then my sponsor then said to me, I'm not asking you to do anything, just to have a look. How about that? What about opening your mind to having a look? And I thought, I thought my mind was open, but obviously not. And so it was that 4th person who persevered with me, who actually worked with in the end. So, and I'm so grateful for them for being gentle and understanding and just keeping on.
Yeah.
Basically.
And look, there you go. They've had someone in their business for 20, did you say 20, since 2003?
Yes. Yeah.
There you go.
So,
That's
and the other one was another friend up where I used to live, who had been approached by a couple of other people, and she'd said no. She had very, very serious health challenges, and I've shared with some of you online, and she now has started the product. She's been on 2 years now, and her health and well-being has just changed dramatically, from having to have all sorts of medical procedures on a monthly basis to not being required to go back for a year. So to be checked and looked at. So, and she was so grateful that I didn't just leave her because she'd said, no, I don't think this is right for me. I've looked at it, and I've got too many issues to worry about this, to then changing her mind in the end.
Yeah.
So
Great story. Thank you, Bev.
Started off with one product and then has gone on to more, same as Pauline was saying.
Yeah.
So they're the main. Oh, well, there are other people obviously over this length of time who done the same thing, but they're the 2 stories I thought might share with you.
Yeah, thank you, Bev. I think that's really helpful. I'm sure everyone's had this experience. Yeah, I'll just share quickly one story on that note. From me, my brother, I'd shared the product. So I've been with the company for however long they've been in Australia, 26, 27 years. And he tried a couple of products over the years and had not been successful for him. And he got to a point and says, do not talk to me about these products. I don't want to hear. When you come visit here, I don't want to hear. So I just honored that. And about 3 years ago, he approached me. He knew that he wasn't getting enough nutrition in his diet and he wanted something. And he's been on Nutriveris ever since, every month, and his wife. And that's been 2 or 3 years now. And I think just watching me and my commitment, I've been there for a long time. I've stayed steady in my resolve of what I've got. And he knew where to go when he was ready. So as you work towards achieving the manifest incentive or any incentive for an event going forward, it's just a numbers game, right? And just got to keep going out there and no now doesn't mean no forever necessarily, unless it's, the door's totally closed. You can keep them on your list and, just to respect what they're saying to you, but don't close the door on them. So I think as Sharon does with every call, let's just finish by a round robin of what's in our heart. Just a couple of sentences because we're pretty close to the hour there. What's in your heart to share with people about going for this next incentive, manifest incentive? Karen.
It'll be worth every bit of effort you make. And thank you, Bev and Pauline. That was really inspiring, all you told us. I appreciate that. So, yeah, if we think about others and how we can help them and the vision for Manatech and knowing what we've got and how necessary, we just have to have that heart to help people, knowing we save children at the same time from malnutrition, and we get to go on this great, exciting holiday with the best people in the world and be inspired while we're there. And you can go on a trip afterwards if you want, like Bev said. That's another great thing. Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Thank you,
Yeah.
Karen. Pauline?
Oh, I just think never give up. Once you're in it, and one thing that my daughter-in-law has taught me is try the products, not the whole lot. I started off with the whole bundle, and I have not been able to say which product actually is better for me, if you know what I mean, because I take everything. She is taking a few and she's seeing the difference, and then she's adding AO and says, I can see the difference in that. And she's added plus, and she can see what that does for her. And I think that could be the answer for a lot of people. I know what it's done with me because it's cleared up all the allergies I ever had, and I didn't know that I had some of them. I don't have any allergies anymore. So I just think it's belief in the products, but doing it piecemeal, I can see the benefit in it being done piecemeal.
Well, I think it's meeting people where they're at, isn't it? And then
Yeah,
just customer
yeah.
service to support them in what are the other additional potentials once they get
Yeah.
a result. So it's a good
Yeah.
point. Thank
Yeah.
you, Pauline.
Thank you.
And so, Bev, what's in your heart to say about achieving the manifest incentive or going for it?
Even in the going for it, and if you don't achieve, one thing I was going to say too with that, if you interested in you wanting to achieve this, to me it was really important to keep close to my tracker, the incentive tracker, to see where you're at, because you might think you're going along well, and you realize you've missed out on some areas of the incentive that you need to build up on. That was an important part. And even that, it's like helping the business to become a business rather than just an exciting type of nutritional supplement, because I came in for the medical side and doing it going this way, and then seeing the people overseas, it became a business then. Rather,
that's such a good point, Bev.
Yeah,
to finish on. Thank you.
Yes, so that's the most important things and the camaraderie. There's nothing like it. And when you come back home, the people you've been traveling with, apart from seeing other nationalities, etc., the people here in Australia you see at various functions, and it's never the same. You've always improved.
Thank you, Bev. So with that, Sharon, we're on the top of the hour. I'll hand back to you to complete.
Praying the internet gods gives me a minute to speak. So I just want to acknowledge you all. It's just absolutely outstanding and perfect, right from the heart. And you covered every aspect that's important for, incentives, travel, camaraderie, community, and mission. Thank you. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thanks,
Have a great
everyone.
weekend, everybody.
Bye.